We're at Hollywood Kia, and Javon Holland is with us. So last night, did you have a tough time sleeping? You know, you hear this all the time in the world of sports. A loss is a loss, no matter how bad it is. A win is a win, no matter how good it is. And then you got to get ready for the Jets on Sunday. Like and it's a short week, by the way. But easier said than done. You get home last night and what?
I knock out. I didn't play. So me personally, I'm upset about the game, but I didn't have a personal hand in the game. So I went to sleep very peacefully. I woke up great. I woke up with extra eye boogers in my eyes because I got to sleep in. So, but no, yeah. Usually, like I would be upset about a game if I like the Bills game, for example. There were plays on there that I wish I could take back, but I learned from them. But the night of the game, I was obviously, it was a tough time sleeping because I'm thinking about how I could have done something differently and wanting to get out there and like fix it immediately. So that's like when I'm restless. But last night I was knocked out.
You watch film on the game you don't play in?
Yeah, I'm gonna watch this game.
Yeah,
I'm gonna watch this game. There's a lot of things to learn from, and a lot of ways that they attacked us that we knew that they were gonna do, but we still let them off the hook. So it's good to watch to just like a refresher.
Can you watch it though without saying to yourself, "Oh, I would have been right there," or "I would have impacted"?
I mean, I feel like everybody has that in their head when they watch tape. Like, nah, I would have made that play. But I mean, no, I'm gonna say that for sure. I'm gonna make that play. Definitely. Because, I mean, I have confidence in myself that I am going to make that play, and I want to.
Well, there's a reason you're the number one graded safety in the NFL. It's not because you just say you make the play. I mean, I don't think it's a secret. They could have used him out there. Am I wrong?
What?
Javon
would have helped him, huh?
I don't think I'm Hank Stram making coaching decisions, but, yeah, they could have. I guess I'm remiss if I don't ask you, what is your status for Sunday? How are you feeling, and what is the nature of your injury?
Yeah, so it's 2 sprained MCLs. It's taking longer than I thought it was, but this is like my first like legitimate injury that I've had in my career. I've been blessed to evade like serious injuries. So, it's a long process, man. It's ligaments. It's not muscles or anything like that. So it's taking a while. I'm day to day, just slowly improving. I was running last week, so I'm getting there. And I'm optimistic about this week. I am really excited because I do have a chance to come back. And but yeah, I'm fighting to get back as soon as possible, especially because we're taking on a lot of injuries, especially in the secondary. So I want to be able to help as much as possible in games that we need, especially in December. So yeah, I'm getting there.
And like what? Because last night all they talked about, obviously, I know you were on the field, but I was watching it on TV. I don't go to the game no more. People talk to me a lot.
Right.
I can watch the game.
I get it.
What do you think about this? What do you think about that?
Like,
what do you think about it? I'm watching the game. Leave me alone. But no, watching it was like y'all could have first seed in the AFC, home field advantage and all that. And it's not gone. So like you coming off that game, and I was never in this situation. That's why I'm asking the question, where it's still there. So you have that down, but then also that up of, hey, we tighten up. We still got 4 games left.
Right.
Win 3 of these things,
right,
and we're the number 1 seed in the AFC.
Right.
Like, is it hard to get that in your mind where it's 12 hours after a loss?
Yeah, it's hard to think about because you're not really in that mindset. You're not really like, we still got an opportunity. It's more like, damn, like we just lost. Like, what can we fix to then come back next week and win again? You know what I mean? It's not necessarily the grand scheme of things. It's more focused on how can we fix this game and what we did in this game to then improve next week. But like you said, like even though it was a bad loss and we're frustrated about it, it's never as bad as it seems on tape. And it's, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that is a good point though. Like even with all of the antics and losing and everything like that, we're still in a position to put ourselves in a good position for the playoffs, and there's so on and so on and so forth. So
it's funny because it is a saying, and honestly, I believe that. What is it? It's never as good as you think it is. It's never as bad as you think it is.
Yeah.
So why do we take the bad out of that? Because you can humble yourself.
Recency bias. We do after the Denver game. We said, I mean, we were doing the show from the top of the 10th, going, I dare anyone to take a shot at us.
But
like this
we knew we weren't scoring 70 every game.
We? I wasn't certain. I thought they'd have another chance to break the record. I'm not even kidding you. It's recency bias. The wins feel so great right coming after them. The losses, and last night was a brutal one. It's not the typical loss. Like it's a dub up until it's the L. So I just think it's recency
but it's not
bias.
Just not Dolphins, not play, just human nature where we the good times we can't see it, but the bad times,
Right. No, you're right. You're right. You're right. We don't glorify the times being good because we're worried to prepare about the times being bad. And when the times are bad, we're reflecting on the bad times, ignoring the good times that are within the bad times. So I agree with you, man.
Yeah.
I do agree.
Why is that?
I don't know.
I'll
Human
change
nature.
I'll change it. I'm not like that.
Human nature.
I think I'm the best looking dude in the world.
Well, there's a difference between being optimistic and delusional. And you understand what I'm saying, Randy?
Anywhere I
There's-
walk, I'll be like, man, they all looking at me, man. I'm married, ladies. I'll be at the old folks' home. I'm married, ladies.
What about the locker room last night, though? Is the locker room like you guys get off the field? I'm imagining, I wasn't there last night. I'm imagining that place is just lit, right? It's Monday night. Dolphins fans haven't had a season like this in the longest, and we're all buying in. They had the drones, and it's like, I mean, it's really like a coming out party. You know, it's like you're just like letting go of all these demons that have plagued Dolphins fans for a long time. So that place has to be just bubbling with energy, and I'm sure the players, you feel that, you're feeding off it or whatever. But now take us to you're walking off the field into the tunnel, into the locker room after that loss.
After Tua got sacked, it was like such a sudden, just like, oh, that's it, the game's over. And everybody's like, you could just feel the whole crowd and the team just, oh, damn. You know what I mean? Going into the locker room, everybody's kind of the same. Like, how did we just like let that slip out of our hands in the last 2 minutes? And then we bring it up, we talk, yada, yada, yada. And then everybody kind of starts going around powwow and like, hey, like, even though it's we lost, it is what it is. It's behind us. It's one game. You know, let's improve from it. And that's the gist. And then this morning, same thing in the locker room. Everybody's like, hey, you know, let's talk about what we did, how we lost. But other than that, like, we can't control it. When we took the L, 9-4, let's move forward.
Is that your kind of role last night, though, where you've got to kind of keep the guys' heads up? Like, because you said you kind of had a coach's mentality last night. So did you kind of take that upon yourself when you get to the locker room?
No, I didn't take that approach to like, hey, like, you know, keep your head up. I took it as like, look at what you did wrong and fix it. Because this later into the season, we can't be sugarcoating anything like, hey, it's all right. Like, nah, if you messed up, you messed up. Focus on what you messed up on. And now you got something to work on this week. Like, you got things to improve because you messed up in the game. So use that and be better next week. That was my mindset.
Might have been different when I played. The dudes that weren't playing better not say nothing to me after the game. I don't know, y'all team might be different.
Nah, I mean,
but
I
like,
feel
if I'm out there bleeding, my neck sore, I done broke my pinky.
Yeah.
And now you come to me talking about, come on, Crowder, man, you missed that tackle in a second. I might have dove on you.
No, I feel you. But it's not like I'm calling out specific plays. I'm like it's a conversation amongst teammates, right? So I'm not like going out there like, hey, you should have did this or you should have did that. Like, they asking me like, what did you see? And I'm telling them, okay, I saw this. But I'm not just gonna go up to nobody because I know for a fact that if I'm playing and I did all that and then we lost and they come to me, hey, you should have did this. Man, you strap them up then. If you going out there, strap them up then. So yeah.
You know so much. Why ain't you in the game?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What Vic Fangio say to the defense after the games? He talked or today.
He didn't really say much. I mean, it was like more Mike talking to the team, just about sticking together, and then using this as fuel to, you know, push us through the rest of the season and into the postseason. But Vic didn't really say much. It was more like a whole team thing.
Was the message today, hey, that was yesterday, you got to worry about the Jets?
Today we just lifted in the morning. We're gonna meet on Thursday because we're off tomorrow. Today we just came in, lift, watch the film as a unit, or watch the film individually, and then come in on Thursday. And then we'll talk about it because we got like kind of like 2 days in one on Thursday because it's a short week. You like them lift days, don't you? You big as hell. You got that tight ass shirt on. But it's a third one. You know, it's a little cold outside. It's all right, man. I go to the grocery store too. Ladies, why you looking at me? I'm just shopping. I know. I got a girlfriend at home. No? Don't go in my public. I don't want you in my public. What city you in? I'm in David. Okay, I'm in Plantation. You all right? Oh, okay, we safe. I stay out your territory. I come to your Whole Foods though. What's that? What is that? That $5.95? Yeah, that right. Yep. Right where they got yak. That's my Whole Foods. I go Whole Foods.
I'll read you a couple of things from Twitter last night from Dolphins reporters. Marcel Louis Jacques, who covers the Dolphins for ESPN, he says, per Next Gen Stats, Tua Tagovailoa was pressured on 39% of his dropbacks tonight and sacked 5 times. When facing pressure, Tua completed 4 of 11 passes for 27 yards. Without pressure, Tua was 19 of 22 for 213 yards. It's not surprising, though, right? Any quarterback that faces pressure is going to have worse stats than when they have a lot of time to find open receivers.
Right. That's a realistic thought process.
Right. Like, I mean, I don't know because I know Tua is still a guy that brings out criticism. We've talked about it. Yeah. You still see it on the morning television sports shows. As good as I think he is, or as good as you think he is, there are people who are just waiting and they look at that stat and they go, you see, he's not elite. He just needs a ton of time.
They're waiting for nobody to say that, but I would guarantee in those non-pressure situations, those were the 2.5 second stuff because Tua gets the ball out of his hands, one of the fastest in the league. So that 2.5 seconds, that's when it's schemed up. That's when they have they know, and Tua, it's already, I want to say, already decided where he's throwing the ball, but you can tell when they know where the ball's going, and that's when you see it. When Tua starts scrambling around, when something goes wrong, breakdown of plays is when you see Tua get sacked and when you see those numbers go from 2.5 to 4. And I would say that's where, not even criticism of Tua, but that's where his numbers will go down because his offense, honestly, is not based around holding the ball for 4 or 5 seconds.
Absolutely. I think I agree with you 100%. I think offense in itself is all timing. And like you said, if something is breaking down or there's pressure in his face, it's something that's gone wrong, of course, and he's trying to get the ball off, but there's a situation where he can't move or he's trying to make a quick decision. So then obviously his percentages are going down. I think that's more of a testament to the Titans and them getting pressure on him rather than it is to Tua, because any quarterback being under pressure like that is going to face some difficulty. Even if they're big and they stand in the pocket and can deliver the ball, they're still going to have some difficulty getting it out.
Marcel Louis-Jacques also tweets out, and this is one of those where you look at some of the numbers from last night and you go, how did that happen? Derrick Henry scored twice, but had 34 yards on 17 carries, minus 22 rushing yards over expectation per Next Gen Stats. And then Marcel Louis-Jacques points out, and the Dolphins lost this game. If I told you going into the game, you're going to hold Derrick Henry to 34 yards on 17 carries, and Will Levis is the quarterback. And while we saw in 3 minutes yesterday that he's got some very good potential, if I told you Derrick Henry was going to be held to 34 yards, you'd say, yeah, they got this.
I'll let Javon go first.
Yeah, I mean,
he's going to say it very politically correct. I got something for you.
I mean, you also got DeAndre Hopkins on the team.
True.
You know what I mean?
He reminded you last night.
Yeah, I mean, dude, like it's hard. It's a hard, come back to that because obviously you look at that's one of their elite players, and if you hold him to that many carries with, 34 yards, you're thinking, okay, we kind of got the game in the bag, which we did, and then you got DeAndre Hopkins, so that's what I think about it. I mean,
they were bashing Derrick Henry's damn head in. They came out, and I don't even know. I ain't talked to Javon about this. I guarantee Vic and them challenged them, saying they're going to run the ball downhill. They have a young quarterback. They're not going to want to put it in his hands. They're going to get the ball to Derrick Henry 40 times, and he's going to embarrass y'all. And they stepped up. Whenever Derrick Henry gets tackled for a lost Hawk, that's when I am surprised. He's too damn big to get tackled in the backfield. If he leans forward half of his body weight, he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. They were playing hellified run defense. They were coming up. That damn David Long, I don't know how much he weighs. He plays like he's 260. He probably weighs about 190. And he was coming up. They were bashing him. I remember Mick Chugg had about 2 tackles for loss. They played the run amazing. I was surprised. I won't speak of anybody else. I was surprised that Will Levis could do what he did. I was surprised that Will Levis was throwing them ropes out there one-on-one to D-Hop and them boys. I said the same thing. We talked about it last week. Derrick Henry's going to carry this team to a win if they win.
Right.
I said it. I said they have to. He'll run the ball 40 times. If they win, he's going to have 180, 175, 180. He had 34 yards. No one thought Will Levis was about to do what he did last night.
And he did. Ben Volen from the Boston Globe tweeted this out. Now, this was a version of tweets and comments that I saw all last night. But he says the second quarter is making it pretty clear Tyreek is the Dolphins' MVP, not Tua. That's another issue that has been debated ad nauseum for a couple of weeks. The Dolphins have 2 legitimate MVP candidates. Which one is it? Is it Tyreek? Is it Tua? Crowder, you saw it last night. They are a different team without Tua, without Tyreek out there.
Oh, 100%. And that offense, you can see the fear that Tyreek puts in people. You can see what the defenses do. You can see how the defenses jump. You can see how the safeties rotate or don't rotate. They just want to stay too high because they don't know where he's going to end up after the play. You could see the difference in the defensive approach when Tyreek was on the sideline to when he was in the game.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean,
And
it's
justified, though.
It's the truth. Yeah, it's
Oh,
justified.
he's one of the best ever.
Yeah, it's one of. I mean, he strikes fear into people. He really does. And it's two different offenses for sure. When Tyreek's not in there and Tyreek's not out there, because the offense is built around our best players for Tua and Tyreek, and that's the truth. And you saw last year when Tua wasn't in there, it was difficult for us to move the ball because it's built around our elite players: Tua, Tyreek, J-Dub, Raheem, A-Chain. Like, so when you were missing one of those pieces, then it's got to pick up somewhere else, and we're just figuring that out. So
Raheem was a bad man.
Woo, that guy is
Bro,
something.
he was a bad man.
Hey,
you know what?
yep.
Talking about what you saw when Tyreek was out, you saw that number 2 is Raheem Mostert. And Waddle can play ball. I don't want to take a shot at anybody. My man Cedric.
I wish Waddle got more passes, more deep throws. Like I was chomping for that last night.
My man Cedric Wilson hit a couple of DBs with the Humpty Dumpty too.
Yep.
Like you saw some great players, but Raheem Mostert is that dude. Started the fourth quarter, he was averaging 5 yards a carry.
Yeah,
that doesn't happen nowadays in the NFL.
He is really good.
He's
He's a fun guy to root for too.
Yeah.
He's an interesting
he's
guy.
got 18 on the season, 18 touchdowns on the season, and ties Ricky Williams.
Yeah.
single
That's
season.
crazy.
Yeah, and there's 4 games left.
Four
Yeah.
games left, yeah.
Rick had my sternum bruised one time.
Yeah, that just doesn't sound appealing. That doesn't sound like,
That was a practice.
yeah, nah.
Practice.